thought you were in prison for life.
I work for the government.
Post office?
You think they'd let me out of prison to deliver mail?
I don't know. It's the first government job I could think of.
I kill people for them, okay?
This task force doesn't officially exist, which leaves us on our own.
We call our targets butterflies. They are a serious threat to the safety of American citizens.
There's something weird going on. You think me and Vigilante are too stupid to notice.
Hey, everyone, which one's me and which one's Eagly?
Okay, you're half right, but you score 50% on the test at school. What do you get? A D. School wasn't my bag. It's for dorks.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Hello, all you gigalos. Welcome to Garbage In, Garbage Out. I'm your host, Kelton, and I'm joined, as always, by my amazing co-host, Grift. How's it going, buddy?
It's good. I'm receiving breaking news reports that Putin just deployed the Peacemaker to the breakaway Donetsk and Luhansk regions in a peacekeeping mission. So, staying on brand. We're gonna closely monitor that situation. I feel bad for all the Zoomers who are currently packing a bag and worrying about how high their draft number is.
The whole question of how many bodies do you have is about to have a totally different meaning for these Zoomers now. R.I.P. to those, but it's okay. We're joined though by a Zoomer herself. It's Ruby.
What's up, bitches? What's up, you fucking geezers? Zoomer in the house.
We're out of that target age demographic for the Spider-Man No Way Home rewatch.
Hey, man. Hey, listen. All right, listen. Do we have to lead with this?
Hey, number 6 all time at the box office.
Brag on me, dude.
You're the one who's hosting the Spider-Man podcast. You know,
okay.
If you hosted the Uncharted podcast, we'd probably be covering a different movie.
Dodging bullets with that.
It's okay. I mean, not all of us can get snubbed at the Oscars and then like lobby to have a Twitter poll get its own Academy Award.
Hell yeah!
So congrats.
Its own
to
acknowledgement.
Disney.
They're not gonna get shit, which I think is funny because I think people are gonna get mad because a lot of people probably think that Oscars fan choice shit is like, here, you get your own little Oscar. No, you get to be acknowledged at the show, at the 4-hour fucking show that none of these people are going to watch anyway.
When they are reading the news about it the next day and keyword searching, they're going to be so mad, and then they're going to move on to whatever the next thing is.
Whatever next fucking art house director gets forcefully asked about Marvel movies by some fucking clout chasing fucking headline writer. Hey, what? I don't know. I can't think of who's a fucking another director who hasn't done that already.
I think Francis Ford Coppola was the latest one.
He just did that. Hey, Mr. Coppola, what do you think of Marvel movies? Can you shut the fuck up? Can you shut up? Can you leave me alone?
Hey, now in Coppola's defense, he like brought on the full wrath of the internet because he not only went after Marvel movies, he then said that other movies are also bad because they have been poisoned.
I forgot he said that. He's like, even good movies suck, by the way.
Yeah. It's
show me the lie.
Yeah, Francis, come on, Frank gay baby. Why you gotta do this to me?
Whoa,
focus on your winery,
easy, sweetheart.
But so this week we are avoiding the Marvel Disney empire. Instead, we are focusing on the Discovery Warner Media empire, and we're going with Peacemaker.
Hell yeah.
It's a 8-episode TV show debuted on HBO Max. It just got renewed for a season 2. The finale had a 44% higher viewership mark than the first episode, so it only got stronger as time went on. Thus, I think putting a final nail in the coffin for the Netflix release all episodes all at once strategy that seems to have taken place.
Yeah, consistently, everyone's talking about these shows that release weekly, like because it keeps it in the conversation. Everybody, when they drop all at once, everybody talks about them for like 3 hours and then move on to the next thing. It's working to keep attention on it.
And that's kind of been like HBO Max's thing, right? Like that they don't really drop their shows all at once. They do week by week. I mean, I remember even going back to like Game of Thrones when that was huge. Like the week by week was like the last show that everybody watched like that. But they've had a series of hits, you know, like Success and Euphoria, like all these shows that get people
Righteous
talking.
Gemstones.
Yeah, Righteous
coming up.
Yeah, yeah. They never really changed into the Netflix drop all at once binge like thing that like House of Cards kicked off with that. So and it seems to be really working for them because getting good content compared to the other streaming services these days.
It's crazy how that can happen. You know, it is weird. Again, the HBO Max is emerging like a phoenix, just as the dominant winner of the streaming wars as it continues to rise up. No offense to Disney. Disney's doing its own thing. But I'm sorry, Book of Boba Fett is not exactly getting the critical acclaim that so many of the HBO shows are.
Wait, you mean The Mandalorian season 3?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Fucking season 2.5. That's all I saw in that fucking show. I heard two things about that show. My friend was watching it and he goes, "This theme song goes pretty hard." I'm like, cool. Tell me how it goes. And then when I was thinking about watching it, all I saw was that it just turns into fucking another Mando season, which is hilarious. They have no confidence in anything.
Which is amazing, especially when they're like, hey, that wholly original season that we did that didn't really tie into anything that everyone responded super positively to.
Aww.
Now let's just weave it into our established Star Wars universe and strip it of all originality.
Let's give the Mandalorian one of those Naboo ships from the Phantom Menace. You remember those, right?
Hey, you're nostalgic for this now. You thought the movie sucked at the time.
Are you nostalgic for how we CGI actors' faces? Are you nostalgic for that?
We're talking about a TV show, so of course we're not going to do a full blow-by-blow of everything. I want us to kind of stick with the broad strokes, but obviously we're going to be getting into spoilers and just everything else. So I'm going to start us off on the right foot here. What did we think about this show? Grift?
I had a lot of fun with this. There's so many superhero TV shows now, and, sort of like Marvel has saturated the market with these things. So I was a little bit dubious going in because another one of these fucking things based on a D tier character from the super the Suicide Squad. Like obviously John Cena's a big star and whatnot, but it just seemed like kind of random. Like really, we're getting a show about this guy. But I was very pleasantly surprised. I've been going out all weekend, living life in the big city. Just needed to crash yesterday, so just nothing better than just like curl up in bed and watch like 8 hours of Peacemaker.
Yeah,
and it was a good chill way to end the weekend. So I had a good time binging it. Like a lot of humor, a lot of heart. It was pretty like relatively low stakes compared to some of the other superhero stuff. But I liked the small team of rejects focus. It felt very in line with the Suicide Squad movie that it was jumping off from.
Yeah, this is very much like James Gunn's third iteration of this concept, because Guardians of the Galaxy, then the Suicide Squad, and now this Task Force X project that's going on. So it's fun to see him both going back to a well that is very familiar and always tweaking and refining the formula. So it's pretty intriguing. Ruby, what did you think about the show?
I thought it was fucking great. I thought it was really good. I was surprised that I liked Peacemaker as like the character, John Cena.
Right? Oh,
as
man.
much as I did. Yeah. Because I found him incredibly fucking annoying in the Suicide Squad. In this show, Vigilante, his really fucking annoying best friend, is how I saw him in Suicide Squad.
Interesting.
He was just really fucking annoying and he spoke too much. Not all the time, because I really liked Vigilante sometimes, but a lot of the time it was just like, why do you have to say something right now? Which is kind of the point.
Yeah.
Because every character says that to him when he talks. They're like, why are you talking? Why do you have to speak?
Oh, man, I hate this annoying character so much. Why is he on this show? Oh, that's why he... Oh!
Yeah.
Not every TV character needs to be my best friend. Oh, my God.
Okay, shut up, bitch. I'm just saying. He was a bit much. And in the Suicide Squad, I felt like that was Peacemaker. He was just a bit much in the group.
Mm-hmm.
But in this, he kind of loses that quality because there's someone else who's like 10 times more annoying than him. And he has a lot of kind of space to have a little, even though it's all humorous and over the top and kind of ridiculous, he has the space to have a little bit of character work and a little bit of emotional growth that he didn't have the room to do when he wasn't the star of the show.
Yeah.
With his insane fucking, I did not expect so many slurs out of his dad, dude. I didn't. That shit caught me off guard, dude. Fucking coming in, slinging them motherfuckers like nothing. I'm like, all right, okay. That's how.
What was weird was that was just Robert Patrick on set. You know, they thank God they had the cameras rolling. They were able to put that in context.
Then he just shows up here in like the Zoomer haircut.
Yeah, which
he
like
was an island boy. Yeah, it's.
I love that his first on-screen appearance is watching the Alex Jones ripoff. Everybody got to have an Alex Jones now.
Fax attack.
Everybody has to have a fucking Alex Jones parody in their shit now.
Yeah.
Everybody has to have it. But yeah, overall, I thought it was really good. I thought it was really fun.
A lot of the script, just to jump off of that, you know, like every media property has to have a fake Alex Jones because, like, it's obviously like, oh, they're responding to things in the internet zeitgeist, and like it felt like a lot of the script felt like the writers of it definitely lurk on Twitter, like they definitely cribbed a lot of the lingo from it, like. They use simp. They use the Berenstain Bears.
Yeah, dude. These guys are just fucking
thing.
on Twitter lurking and shit. Like, oh, this will be funny.
Handle at Pepe the Frog 89.
I thought
giving
that
John C was giving Peacemaker fake news. Like,
I really love the entire extended bit of him constantly. Oh, what? So you're smarter than Google? Oh, okay. So Facebook just lies to me every day for no reason. I thought that was good. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, the fake news about the members of the Justice League's like sexual fetishes.
Fake, quote unquote. Yeah. I did also like the counterbalance point. If you remember when Peacemaker and then Argus agent Harcourt are having a conversation about the deep state, when she's trying to adamantly say that it is not the deep state, it is just several secretive members within the organization of government forming a cabal with their own agenda.
That was great.
So it was, I really, really enjoyed the show as well. Like, when I went into the show, John Cena being an annoying character in the Suicide Squad, James Gunn, who was really on my shit list, especially coming into this, I wasn't expecting a show that would then dive into and provide a thesis statement on the power of ideology and symbolism when it comes to justifying murder. But that's exactly what it provided. Again, the show shouldn't have worked on paper, but Griff, like you were talking about, he turned these D-listers and cast of characters into another compelling story about how friendship has a redemptive power and how it might be a struggle to grow and change, especially if that means that then you're cutting off the ties with your toxic family members or your toxic friend group or whatever, getting over the past trauma that once defined you and instead becoming a new, better version of yourself, you know, like a butterfly, in other words.
Hey, nice. Butterflies are the bad guys in the show, everyone. Clap for Kelton. You're right. I mean, like you said, that's kind of his whole thing lately. He takes D-list characters for Marvel. He did it with Guardians, and he's now done it for DC twice, where he just takes D-listers and he's like, through the power of friendship, I will make these characters sell a lot of tickets.
Yeah, and it's amazing because he takes characters. I mean, I like that, you know, they are D-list, but they still have like 40 years of beta testing of character work. So we know what works and what doesn't work. And then, you know, what are the silly little parts of the comic book lore that you can make fun of and also make references to throughout. So you're not having to start entirely from scratch, but these are characters that HBO is not getting, you know, a tight ass about whatsoever. Like, they don't care that Vigilante is way different in the comic books and that James Gunn just turned him into Deadpool, basically. Like that. Sure. Great. Fine. Do whatever you want, James.
Turned him into neurodivergent Deadpool.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, what's going on with that? Because I mean, you may have it down here with his character notes, but I know that was a whole like online thing. Like the neurodivergent community was getting really into vigilante.
Yeah.
Oh, is he
Autistic
is he
people
supposed
really
to
like
be,
vigilante.
Is he
And
supposed
they
to be
have claimed-
neurodivergent?
No.
Okay.
Like,
Because they make a joke
just
about it.
annoying.
Yeah, they make a joke about it at the very
He's a
beginning. And
sociopath.
I wasn't sure if I
Like-
missed it. That
no,
it turned
like
out he
he's a
actually was.
sociopath, and so he doesn't exhibit a lot of normal traits.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like what is a textbook sociopath, meaning like he's weird and he has different idiosyncrasies, but he's not like a Hannibal Lecter, I'm an evil genius kind of sociopath. He's just a regular guy who doesn't exhibit feelings or have emotions or have an ability to empathize in situations. Like he's a sociopath clinically. And so it's weird that then a lot of people are like, no, he's autistic. That's what he is. one of us, which, you know, I think like a bunch of autistic people claiming the sociopath as one of theirs might just be like one of the most autistic things I've ever seen take place online. Like this is going to be some autistic guy's Catcher in the Rye is what's going to happen. Like some guy's going to be watching this and be like, yes, there is a deep state. Joe Biden is a butterfly. I need to do what I need to do.
Yo, when Joe Biden's eating the ice cream, he's like that's
Nectar.
his version
That's where
of
the
like
fucking
the
honey
nectar,
shit is.
yeah.
It's in the
Yeah,
cone.
yeah, he's got the. It's why it's always in the cone, so his tongue goes into the ice cream scoops, so you can't see it. Like, so he can eat it in public and not be revealed to be an alien.
God,
It's
it's
true.
It makes too much sense. We gotta, we dropped the ball by not creating the Titan Truth podcast post Godzilla. We gotta do Fact Attack or whatever the fuck that show was.
Fact Attack, yeah.
And just go with that with the DCEU storylines all the way through.
Yeah.
I think that could be worth something. Here, just a real quick premise. You know, I know we're already kind of into the weeds a bit, but for the weirdos who are like, oh, I haven't watched Peacemaker, but I want to listen to your show. Number one, why? Don't do that. But I guess to give you a heads up, the show starts basically 5 months after the Suicide Squad mission. So Peacemaker is recovered from the hospital. He's discharged and he returns to his house, which is in a trailer park. And then he's recruited by a bunch of Argus agents to basically do like a mini Suicide Squad of its own on a mission called Project Butterfly, which, you know, let's just talk about Project Butterfly, what it is, because I really enjoyed the reveal of it's an alien invasion that took place. What about y'all?
I thought that was cool. I did like the little meta thing. Like, you guys aren't very original at coming up with names, so I'm gonna assume Project Butterfly is butterflies, and it was, which was fun. I thought it was cool. I thought it was kind of ridiculous, even though like it kind of pays off as a joke at the end, like the very end, with the Justice League. Oh, sorry, spoilers. Again, if you fucking for some reason or whatever, I don't care. Like
I liked how they had Jason Momoa show up, but then but they kept Superman in like
they
silhouette.
Kept Superman and Wonder Woman in silhouette,
Cavill.
or Gal Gadot.
He was
Ezra
busy
Miller
at Games
and
Workshop.
He
was really
he's
trying to
their new
get
little
some.
shill now. Fucking wild. I want a new Ultramarine with Henry Cavill. Like, I do. Okay.
It was a fun like homage to like the like the Invasion of the Body Snatchers type classic alien taking over people trope. And I liked in the way it sort of like tied into like the again, spoilers, but the aliens' mission to save Earth from itself.
Yeah,
it's almost and then combined with the fact that like they're taking over influential people. It's like it's almost like maybe there's this mind virus going around in the elites that is making them act this way. But no, it's actually just who they are. We can't take it out of them. That's they're incurable at this point. So
I thought it was kind of a little wacky that Waller and like the people like entrusted 4 people to stop an invasion that shown on the screen in the van at some point in the show is like completely like worldwide apocalyptic scale invasion already.
Yes.
Which it doesn't really matter because they only have the one food source, so they could stop it on their own. And again, it was also kind of a punchline because at the end of the show, he's like, why don't you send the fucking Justice League? Like, they can just go in and do this in 5 minutes and it's over. And she's just like, you don't hear her answer, but she obviously does send them or whatever. They just show up late.
Fuck,
but
that
like,
is
you
a
know,
good point. Oh, God. Really should have done that before. I hate this.
Yeah, I guess you were right. I mean, I get like technically, if you want to like excuse the little like plot hole there, it's that they didn't actually know that there was one food source or where it was. And the reason they couldn't wait was because they were going to teleport it and they would lose it again. So the Justice League would be useless again if they didn't know where it was. But
that's exactly right. That's what they always would be. It's just so fun that you have an alien storyline that goes from alien infiltration, like, oh no, it's the elites are taking over by aliens. So then like a full blown invasion. We're like, oh God, there's so many aliens. To then, oh, like they're trying to save us. So it's an intervention of sorts of like, no, we're trying, we're willing to take over as many human bodies as necessary to mean or to help the survival of your species.
Yeah, it reminded me of the underwater aliens from the Abyss too, where they see where humanity's going wrong and is trying to basically like destroy humanity to save the planet.
You got to do what you got to do.
But,
It's...
yeah, you gotta do anything for peace, no matter what it takes, no matter what children you have to kill.
It is great. Like the motto, of course, that you're referencing with Peacemaker. But like how it ties in to, even when his dad's neighbor is getting after him, and it's like, oh, you're not a superhero. What? Who's in your rogues gallery? He's like, no one is in my rogues gallery because I
fucking killed them. You dumb fuck. It's like, okay, look, I got to talk about that. Okay.
Go ahead.
I get it. Okay. Yeah. Congratulations. You went to twitter.com and fucking Googled Batman take, and you got fucking 8 million posts that said, oh, well, we have to write this because this is the popular Twitter opinion. Oh, why doesn't Batman kill anybody? Why doesn't Batman kill his villains? Batman's a stupid... Shut the fuck up. Shut up. You don't understand the point of the fucking character. Batman is a crazy, stupid motherfucker. He's insane. No normal person does what Batman does ever. Batman's not supposed to fucking be like, it's stupid. Okay, he doesn't kill people. Shut up. We've heard it I'm so frustrated.
I'm also just delighted by Ruby revealing her age in this, of her assumption that it's a Twitter take and not a like circa 1970s.
Oh my God, okay, whatever. Yeah, you fucking old fuck from the 80s have been saying the same thing.
James Gunn has been a child, and this is criticism.
Same thing when he wrote Killing Joke. Who cares? My point is that it's tired. It's a tired fucking take about Batman that he's in the wrong for not killing his villains. Like, yes, motherfucker, okay. It would be better if Joker was dead. That's not the fucking point of the story.
Also, like, this is in the same universe as the Batman that like mounts machine guns on the Batmobile.
And that's not even excusing that, because it's not like, okay, maybe not everybody knows that because not everybody watched Justice League. Everybody just knows Batman exists. But in this universe, it's common knowledge that Batman brands people to have them murdered in prison when he arrests them.
Someone didn't watch the extended cut of Batman v Superman.
Shut the fuck
because
up.
That was all actually a propaganda campaign pushed by Lex Luthor that he orchestrated. Yeah. So
are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
I hate it, but it's okay to not be a real fan, Ruby. It's fine.
Why do we keep giving Zack Snyder a chance to retroactively fix the dumb fucking bullshit he puts in his movies?
He is now making a Star Wars movie for Netflix that's not called Star Wars, of course. It's called Rebel Moon, so it's basically Star Wars.
I saw that. Yeah, it is just Star Wars.
Another note on the Bat brand. I think he just runs a Bat ranch in this universe, and then he brands them in prison, and then when they get out, they become lifelong employee/slaves of the ranch.
God!
For those at home following along on their Gigo Bingo card, you can cross off the Yellowstone reference now.
I'm now just picturing like the Wayne logo, but as a bat, but as a brand. You know, real. Just like I think he's telling on himself. He's telling on himself incredibly hard. Oh my God! Let's talk a little bit about some of these side characters that exist, though. Amelia Harcourt. I thought it was really cool what they did with the quote-unquote badass woman role, because they didn't Joss Whedonify it. They kept her still being like a real fighter in her own way, but obviously, like, when she's going up against a butterfly-controlled gorilla, like, that shit is too much for her. And, you know, she does get overwhelmed and overcome by some things, but it's not a defining characteristic of, like, oh, look how resilient she is. She's just, like, a capable team leader. Shout out, props, whatever you want to call it, for James Gunn getting his wife a well-written role.
That's his wife?
Fiance, you know, it's fine.
Okay. That's
cute.
I
did not know that.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
Basically,
Nice.
he wants John Cena to fuck his wife, which, you know, I can't wait for the cut arc that's going to be going on.
He just likes seeing John Cena fuck people, I guess. That's a running thing. He gets a lot of pussy. And dick. Yeah. Wow. How
That's right.
inclusive.
Woke.
Disney could never.
Woke King.
Yeah. Woke King Peacemaker. Dude.
I do love the idea.
Woke bisexual Peacemaker.
Disney is like, look, we have Hephaestus in a happy suburban home with his husband where they hold hands twice in the movie. And then DC is saying, here's Peacemaker having a three-way with Vigilante and some random chick. Yeah.
Genuine props, honestly. Like, I think I'm fucking sick of Disney it's so weird. Just put a fucking gay. Why is it such a fucking? I don't understand. Like,
are you saying that Disney should finally have its first gay character in film?
Yeah, for the 8th fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's weird because so much like culture war bullshit is about Disney indoctrinating children with globo homo or whatever, but like they're petrified to put homosexuality anywhere in anything they do. And this show's just having this dude just fucking raw dogging some boy ass, just fucking doing it. And getting,
grown man, let's not.
And
considering James Gunn's
basically.
Previous tweet history, we can't say
okay,
raw
yeah,
dogging that boy's ass.
Fair. Alleged boy ass.
He's still on thin ice with me. No power of friendship bullshit that's going to make me not think it was weird to tweet that in 2009 or whenever, you know? It's fine. He has more Bryan Singer pool parties to go to. It's all right.
I mean, like the point just being that like it's acknowledged twice in the show when he's like implied to have had a threesome with Vigilante, and then when his dad outright says that he's had sex with men and that's part of why he wants him to be dead or whatever.
Yes, he definitely said sex with men. Yep, he didn't use any other words. His white supremacist, white dragon father.
That was part of it. Okay, I'm saying that was a specific part that he singled out. Not that that's the only fucking reason. But like I was just trying to say that like I like when representation is like that. It reminds me of a specific example that I will give in Fallout New Vegas, where the gay characters, the gay companions, don't mention it. They're just gay, and you would not know unless you were the opposite sex and you tried to fuck them. In which case they'd be like, "No thanks." Otherwise, it's just not mentioned, and I like that. It's like a similar thing. He has this threesome, and they don't stop and make a fucking gay joke about it. They don't stop and like make like they don't like hammer it into you like, "Hey, guys, look, guys, look. We made him like boys too." isn't that cool? Like, no, he just did it, and then they kept going like it was no big deal, which it isn't.
I'm
cool.
just now wondering like what the betting odds are of Peacemaker season 2 using the word cuck. I'm gonna put that at like betting odds 1-1. But then Bussy, I think, really has a strong.
Man. Absolutely. Actually, genuinely surprised something like Bussy didn't fucking make it into this season. Like that would have fit in there pretty easily. I think.
We're not quite there yet because the verbiage in like the productions always lags like a couple years.
I was gonna say
what's like hot on the Twitter streets.
James Gunn came across that word and he's like Eminem with a rap. He's like, I'm gonna incorporate this word. I'm gonna add this to this show. So let's talk a little bit about Peacemaker's dad, because I think that's a really great performance, of course, by Robert Patrick and his dumbass wig. It was interesting that they didn't make him the butt of a joke, like with his hate speech and everything else, like they weren't cartoon characters, if that makes sense. And I say that with a guy who is wearing a like Robo Clan outfit, calling himself the White Dragon, not coming across as too cartoony. Like it felt like it was like, oh, a guy like this would not give birth, but would be the father figure of someone like a Peacemaker type. I get it.
Yeah.
No, Peacemaker was his butt baby.
Yeah. And, like, also the fact that, like, yeah, you said it. Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous in the general superhero sense, but when you think about it, this is probably what a fucking clan leader, Grand Dragon, would fucking do in a world with superheroes. They actually call themselves Grand Wizards and Grand Dragons. It is not at all a stretch of the imagination to think that a fucking neo-Nazi clan member, clan leader, would fucking turn himself into a fucking supervillain, all about how he's a fucking cool dragon who hates blacks and other slurs that he just drops out of fucking.
He also drops like a lot of old school racism too, which is almost delightful in its own way.
He drops WAP. He calls Italians WAP.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
That one's good.
One's
his
just
racism
cute.
with the Asian lady, with the Asian cop lady.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh God.
very like childish though, like because it's still a little back and forth, like haha, chopsticks. Other stuff Asian people do, but all his other racism is just fucking hardcore shit. Fucking dropping slurs, talking about wanting to kill them, commies and papists and other things.
And papists, yes,
that was awesome. Papists.
Listen, like some critical support for White Dragon, okay? Broken clocks, all that kind of stuff.
My problematic wood.
I also love how he's a technical genius. Like the different helmets, that was a great gag in the show about how his helmets would do different things each time. I really enjoyed that. And also like
the scabies one better make an appearance in the second season. We the Chekhov scabies helmet. We never got to see it in action.
Well, and also like how the White Dragon is such a technical genius, but it's obvious that he never taught his children this, because one of them died young, but Peacemaker like has no real like technical skill. Like the best weapon idea he can come up with is a mortar shell duct taped to a grenade that he hurls at a factory.
like a Russian tank shell. But his racism was just so over the top.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like it was played up for laughs, just like how
at first ridiculous. I felt that way in his when he first shows up. Like he's just fucking racking it on. I'm like, okay, this is supposed to be like a comically racist guy. I didn't think he'd come back for the show either. I thought that he was going to be there, give him his helmet, and then he'd leave, and you'd be like, oh, that's why he's all fucked up.
DC's always kind of hid behind, like, we can do racism allegories by having, like, a human not like aliens, and, like, not like people from this planet or whatever. And they kind of get away with it. And I think that maybe that could work. So it just feels weird that, again, in a world where Aquaman exists, Superman exists, an alien from another planet, that you're still like, but I hate black people. I really do. Like, that's what's on my agenda. Sure, Darkseid might be trying to invade, but the only reason I don't like Darkseid is that he's not called Whiteside. That's it's a
Whiteside.
I mean, realistically, like personally, on like, I kind of like, I don't know. I don't think it's a popular opinion, but I don't really like
that. Very interesting take. Considering what was just said, this might not be a popular opinion, but some people annoy me.
The white dragon kind of had a point.
I'd like to amend my statement regarding the white supremacist white dragon. You do not, under any circumstances, gotta hand it to him. No, but like, I was gonna say that, like, I don't really like using allegories. I don't like that Marvel uses mutants as a catch-all allegory for racial and ethnic minorities.
Yeah, any minority.
I don't like. On the one hand, that's just kind of fucking weird. Like, you're fucking homogenizing like every fucking minority into mutants.
Yeah, because there's also normal and other. What could be problematic about that viewpoint, Ruby?
And like, like I don't like allegorical use for that. Yeah, you're right in that it is ridiculous that a white supremacist would see aliens and shit invading and still be worried about black people. But then again, white supremacy and shit like that is not a rational way of thinking.
That's
and
right.
They absolutely would still be focused on black people and other minorities and stuff like that they always hated. Like, that's not going to change how they think in the slightest. At worst, or like at best, they'll be like, yeah, well, I hate that fucking guy too because he's an actual alien. Of course I fucking hate him. But that doesn't make me hate black people any less. Like,
speak for yourself.
It's still like, it makes sense that this guy would continue to exist and instead just see like the emergence of superpowered characters as like, well, I can fucking do that and use it to kill minorities, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense. And I think allegorical like representations of that are cowardly.
I think Gunn did a lot of really great things through and through. Like, this is obviously what's weird is that he wrote this show in the middle of the pandemic. Like, he kind of holed himself up and then just wrote the show and then pitched it to HBO. So obviously I think he was going through a lot of different things when this was happening. So it's interesting to see that he's not wanting to shy away from this. My favorite example of race relations was when Vigilante goes to prison and is trying on a mission to kill Peacemaker's father. And so he sits down at the table with the other white supremacists and is asking, like, what's your favorite contribution that African-American people have made to U.S. culture? It's just so great. Because it's humorous, but it also highlights the fact that, it enables you to see a fight scene of Vigilante versus what are considered like normal, quote unquote, power level bad guys. And he's just mowing through them with ease. And so it's always everything always is kind of serving a double function. Like, even the shit talking jokes about dye beard, ragging on the two for 7 episodes, and then it has like an emotional core at the finale.
A solid one too. That shit sucked. That was rough. That was really good. Like, I thought they were gonna do a little something, like a little apology at some point, because at the very beginning, Peacemaker's like, "You fucking idiot! You could be best friends with this guy, but you're being a fucking asshole like you always do." And then later in the show, like towards the end, they show that they both fucking like
heavy metal,
the fuck old people music that was the specific
80s
artist.
hair metal, specifically.
Yeah. And then when he showed him the tattoo and stuff, and I was like, okay, so they're gonna resolve and be friends by the end. He stopped calling him dye beard. That's nice. But then they really throw it at you. He really fucks you up. He's like, yeah, I'm fucking pathetic. I'm a pathetic fucking loser. That's why it's like that. Fuck.
I mean,
hate myself.
the human is a fucking pathetic
Yeah.
loser, piece of
God,
shit.
he's so pathetic. Shit. Oh my god. Makes me sick.
He just starts to walk into the farmhouse like, what? Oh god, oh no. He's gonna end it. Yeah, I just, the whole show is wonderful in a lot of ways. I do want to give a lot of credit not only to the writing, but I think the set pieces and the execution of this show. Because, I mean, like, and I hate to draw this comparison because I don't mean it to come off as mean as it is, but it's going to be mean, so here it goes. This show had a much smaller budget than Book of Boba Fett did, and this show looks so much better than Book of Boba Fett does. And I just think it's excellent what they chose with doing CGI here. Like, you could have a gorilla, but it's in a factory, so it makes sense. Eagly is a wonderful little CGI animal sidekick that's great. But, you know, if you're going to spend money on a CGI animal, you might as well have them peck out people's eyes and just, you know, be a real menace that way. And so,
I was hoping that was coming in a fight scene, and they did not disappoint.
I'm glad they used him. They got their use out of him. Like, he looked surprisingly decent for how CGI animals tend to, like, especially pets. The hardest part's always when the person has to pet it. And They actually have to fucking put their hands on the CGI
you mean
animal.
how they hid that with how Eagly gives him a hug twice?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so good.
Just in general, because there are a couple scenes where he pets it.
That's
And
true.
He looks. It doesn't look terrible. Like, it doesn't look super distracting. You know, which is nice. It's like, it's a similar, not to the same scale or anything, but it's a similar point in how, like, the Batman has roughly half the budget most superhero movies tend to get at this point, and looks just so shockingly better, and like it actually has a vision behind it. I got the sense for that, like, that this show all the way through had a vision to it, you know, like, with the Boba Fett show, it was just fucking, like, I don't know, man.
It's a desert.
How the fuck else can we?
It's
how can we
another
get
desert.
fucking more Star Wars characters in this fucking stupid shit? I don't care. Like, nobody gives a fuck, dude. Nobody fucking cares. That's why I stopped fucking watching Mandalorian, because I watched the first season. I was like, this is awesome. This is cool. And everybody liked it because it was fucking self-contained. You didn't fucking see Luke fucking Skywalker or Ahsoka or Darth Vader or any other stupid fucking character from the main movies. But then they were like, okay, so you like that show? What if we put all those characters in it? Would you like it more? And I never fucking watched it again. Because I don't want that. Make it stop, man. Stop, man. Stop. And, like, that's the thing, right? Because, like, I want to say, like, stop making everything connected. Stop trying to do that. But, like, Peacemaker fucking does it fine.
Yeah.
In a way that's not fucking weird. Like, they drop fucking little references which aren't super distracting because a lot of it is comedy, and that's fine. Most of the show's comedic, so the comedic references work for me, and they work in the context of having Peacemaker consistently show that he just listens to anything he reads on the internet, and that's it. But like, the Justice League cameo at the end is quick, and it's cute. And they're not
Aquaman
pretending that
fish.
and they do not pretend that they can afford fucking Henry Cavill or Gal Gadot.
Contractually, they don't.
Pretend to.
Gal Gadot was pregnant.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill's not under contract with DC.
Yeah.
They
didn't even bother putting a Batman silhouette in there. They were like, nah, don't even fucking.
Because who knows what this Flash movie is going to do?
Exactly.
How great! How pissed off would we be if it was Michael Keaton as Batman?
That would be
the reveal. That would break.
God.
That would break the internet for a second.
That would fucking kill me. Jesus.
Wait, are they? So they're doing a Flash movie that's going to have another Batman
doing Flashpoint.
in it?
Michael Keaton is in it, and so is Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
they've
also,
already
who knows?
confirmed that
Maybe
he's in it.
Pattinson, but definitely not Pattinson. But who knows?
No, wait, really?
Oh no, they're gonna Spider-Man-ify the Batman. They're gonna bring all the Batman back. You're gonna have Christian Bale in there.
Well, the rumors were that Christian Bale was gonna be the third Batman in there, actually.
my
And you
God.
know, if Adam West was alive, they would put Adam West in it.
That's what
But, you know.
voiceover is for. Come on now.
True.
Yeah.
Well, okay, they're not Disney. They won't CGI fucking Weekend at fucking West or whatever.
I'm
him
sorry.
into the fucking
This
movie.
is the golden cow of WB right now. They're gonna get a goddamn deep fake of Adam West if it means that they can churn out more money.
You know what,
George
that's fair.
Clooney's gonna show up with the bat nipples.
Honestly, Clooney might have been the funniest reveal if it was
Yeah.
Clooney
Yeah.
with the full on bat nips the entire time. Oh, that would be great.
But like, you know, point just being that it can be done fine. It's not even just the fact that everything has to cross over now, because it can be done fine. And this is still a superhero property in which that makes the most sense, which is fine.
And more
But, like,
importantly, it's a superhero
just
property
fucking-
that has a kaiju in it. We get a giant alien cow in a farm, and I couldn't have been happier.
I
All I'm
feel
saying
bad
is I
for
just-
that cow. I'm kind of sad it got killed. Like
Ew,
it
why?
wasn't doing anything wrong. Like,
Ew, it was existing. That shit was fucking gross.
I know. I felt
It
bad.
was
I don't know.
fucking
I
ugly.
felt bad. I felt bad for the cow.
How do you feel about
Did
the
you
actress
feel
who
worse?
plays
Disgusting.
Adebayo, though? She is like, all right, I got my big break. It's cool. I get to be kind of like a double sneaky secret agent. I get like an awesome fight scene in this movie. And what? How many gallons of syrup are going to be poured on me? All of them. All of them are going to get poured on you.
Oh yeah, that was gross.
Just the sheer force. I was like, it keeps going, and it's not CGI sheen anything. Like, this is just like that was a whole shooting day. What they did.
Yeah, that was the grossest shit since the Melissa McCarthy raw chicken eating scene.
Throwing it back.
Hey.
God.
I mean, look, ultimately my point is just that it's nice when these things have a fucking vision for
Yeah.
once, when there's a coherent like through line to these fucking things, and the people
Yeah.
making them actually have an idea that they want to do with the thing they're doing, instead of just fucking checking it off the list to get to the fucking next one. Man, I'm so fucking I'm so fucking mad about this stupid shit. People have been talking about like with Doctor Strange 2, for example. I don't know if you've seen it hit your timelines at all, how nobody shuts the fuck up about how this person's going to be in it and that person's going to be in it. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'll kill you in it. How about that? You fucking stupid, annoying piece of shit. Like, it's so dumb. I hate it. Shut up. Just watch why
You're
does it
right.
have
You're
to
right,
be
Ruby. And
a podcast about who appears in it? Why can't you just make a movie that is about the movie?
Well-
Why does it have to be just for fucking putting other
well, Ruby, I'm going to give you 1.8 billion reasons why the superhero machine is now becoming a pure reference. Remember him. I hate to break it to you, but this No Way Home was like the Disney-fied,
Spider-Man's fault.
like, hey,
This
like,
is not Spider-Man's fault. Listen,
it's not Spider-Man's fault. I'm not
Spider-Man
blaming
has
Spider-Man.
been doing this shit for years on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Some motherfucker made a Spider-Man game about how a bunch of Spider-Men from different universes existed. Very cool and fun little action adventure game where you play as different Spider-Men with different art styles and powers, which inspired one of the people working at Marvel Comics to write the Spider-Verse comic event, in which a bunch of Spider-Men came together to solve a spider problem together.
That's also like the plot line of an Amazing Spider-Man, like the animated TV show, like a season 3
it's been a
storyline.
thing.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is the thing that does a bunch of the same guy. So when they got to the third movie, they were like, we should do it with the movie because it works for Spider-Man. Do not blame Spider-Man for the sins of the father. Okay. They do this. They've been fucking doing this since Avengers made $1 billion in 2012. Okay. It's not Spider-Man's fault.
You're right. Reference humor didn't exist before the Avengers.
That's it. I mean the crossover shit. God.
You're right. Crossovers didn't exist.
Oh my
before
God.
the
Okay. All right. Then why did you say it was Spider-Man's fault in the first place?
That
it wasn't.
it confirmed Disney's strategy that for the next phase, they're just going to go, fine, people want references for the next 4 to 6 years. It's just going to be references because that's what prints money. That's what it proved for Disney. That's my point. It's not Spider-Man's fault. Spider-Man is a wonderful, beautiful boy who speaks with a Marty McFly voice. And I think it's fine that we have a 27-year-old man who's now still playing a 17-year-old. It's good. Everything's perfectly normal. But yeah, let's wrap up this discussion though on Peacemaker, because I wanted to, as kind of a final note, talk about how I really enjoyed the way that they blended what's considered quote unquote juvenile humor with the over the top violence, with like the big serious themes, with the high levels of emotional vulnerability that takes place, of where pretty much anyone can enjoy this as a show. And then you can enjoy it on different levels depending on how much you want to read into things. And so I think it almost has like a It's Always Sunny in Philly vibe in that way, of where
totally, yeah, like all the characters are always telling each other to like shut the fuck up. Like when a character is being annoying, like the other ones are like it has the sort of like natural organic banter to it where everyone's just like, it's almost gratuitous in the way they shut up, fuck you, fuck off.
Oh no, it's definitely gratuitous. Like it's noticeable how most of their fucking conversations are telling each other to just shut the fuck up. Like the whole show, 90% of their conversations are like, okay, it's always like, okay, this is the plot, exposition a little bit. This is our objective. Annoying, stupid ass statement. Hey, shut the fuck up. Hey, you shut the fuck up. And then the guy who said the annoying statement is still saying it. He never shut up in the first place. And they milk it too, especially with Vigilante. Like they milk him being annoying. He keeps going after he's told to shut up over and over again.
It's such a brilliantly written character. And I mean, again, I know we got to wrap this up, so my apologies for this quick rabbit trail. They had filmed 5.5 episodes with a different actor being Vigilante, and that wasn't clicking, so they recast. And then this actor, Freddie, forget his last name, had to go in and pinch hit, redoing all of those scenes. And I think he just knocked it out of the park with that role. I mean...
he did fantastic. It was really like I said, like I found them a bit grating sometimes. Like it was a bit much sometimes, but it also hardly ruined the show for me. He did really well, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do. And I think like in general, the little point being made about this is that I think that's also part of why a lot of people like it and why it resonates really well with a lot of people, is that it's constantly being funny and constantly being over the top, but it never lets you have too much time laughing before really fucking you up again and reminding you that these are fucking broken people and that their fucking lives suck and that they hate themselves or each other or their families. You know, something's just fucked up about their fucking life. But you know what? Whatever. Have a little laugh. Have a little annoying banter. Have a little back and forth. And then again, remember, these people fucking suck or their lives suck. And that's something that resonates. I think a lot of people's lives fucking suck, and you laugh about it to get through it.
It felt very like true to life in the way that like I think all of us know, like have met some people who are like the Peacemaker character, where it's like this guy, he wants to do better, but he's incredibly fucked up, has a lot of shit in his past, can't get over it, but just he really, really wants to do better. And then like, you know, people like the Vigilante guy who just like can't shut the fuck up, like gets his mind on a track and like, you know, like always interrupts the presentation or just is doing his own thing and like just has random non sequiturs and just won't shut up. Like these are like, I feel like everybody knows at least some people like this, like in their lives, and it felt like the dialogue and the characters like felt very like sort of like true to life in that way.
Do you think it makes me happy when I kill rapists or murderers or people who do graffiti? Huh? Do you think it makes me happy? Yes, it does.
I fucking love it. Yeah, that's really good.
It's again just a wonderful show. It has a lot of things to say. I'm looking forward to season 2. I am terrified though of season 2 because James Gunn has already basically said but not said that he's not going to be as involved in season 2. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, what the WB machine does to ruin this, or what other like talented voices that are in the wings, so to speak, waiting to show and highlight what all they can do for this genre. So only time will tell. In the meantime, though, let's wrap this up with some plugs. Ruby, what is going on in your world?
Well, I have a podcast of my own now called Into the Spider-Cast, where I talk about Spider-Man stuff. I have a bunch of episodes that you can listen to on your regular podcast consumption platforms. I kind of separated it as like a quote unquote season of the show where I talked about all the live action movies and Spider-Verse in that. But also I'm coming back with new episodes on second week of March, something like that. I don't have an exact date. Depends on how lazy I am with editing, but it's very exciting. And I will take a second because I have confirmed it that I have to say that I have both a co-host now. So I'm not relying on just me to the point where in the first run, I did an entire episode by myself because nobody would come on. I have someone now who also knows a lot more about comics than me. So that's if you're a comic person and you want to listen to a comic book related podcast and learn things about comics, that's a possibility. And also I'm going to be having on a comic writer who's done several Spider-Ham comics, Spider-Man comics in Europe, and a comic about the X-Men animated show, amongst other things. He's coming on with that first episode of the second season in the beginning of March. And you can find it on, I already said the name, and the @ on Twitter is @SpideyversePod if you'd like to follow it and find it whenever it comes back. That's my thing. Oh, and don't forget on the Grift.shop commemorating victims of Havana syndrome, we have dropped a little addition to the Gusano collection that I threw together after they announced, yes, we were lying. Havana syndrome is not real. And then continued to keep acting like it's real, so you can get it and laugh every time you see it come up in the news again.
They literally had the fucking 60-minute segment like yesterday. Where they're like, it's now on U.S. soil. Like
they just said it wasn't real, and they were like, let me walk that back. Yes, you can get that. It's styled after the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation logo, except it's an exploded cigar and it's Victims of Havana syndrome. How clever, how cute I am with my ideas. Thank you.
That's a great shirt. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
I mean, that also forms a natural segue too, because then I can be like, so Grift, what's going on in the shop that has been name dropped already? Just an excellent MC, Ruby. Thank you.
Of course.
Like Ruby said, you can get the Gusano collection. She designed all of the pieces in it, and we're still sending the money to Cuba's COVID response.
That's right.
And it's been a steady drip. It's still going. These are all great products, really timeless. As long as the United States has its wants to establish an imperial beachhead in Cuba, they will be relevant. So I'm looking forward to see what we do with it in the future.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like other stuff going on in the shop, we finally have the classic "Please Be Patient, I Have Autism" hats. Those are out. People were
the vigilante collection, I believe.
Yes, I was. Oh, you stole my joke. You stole my. Okay, yeah. All right, respect. Yeah, the official vigilante collab is in the shop. But yeah, so if you've seen the little Apu Pepe with the "Please Be Patient, I Have Autism" hat, that's what it's based on. So, so go pick one of those up.
I advise everyone to please go check that out. In the world of the podcast, of course, just follow us on Twitter at GigoCast. We are going to be having a healthy mix of shows coming at you, of regular movie or TV show reviews, as well as GigoCast, because it's just been a blast to just do a whole bunch of movie trailers that feels like I'm watching the whole movie, especially with Uncharted having 2/3 of the last trailer that we talked about was all from the last third act, including a scene from the final scene of the movie. So it felt incredibly justified in that. I'm saving money left and right with that, and hopefully you can too, as you learn to improve your media diet. But that's going to be an episode for us. Let's all say goodbye, everyone.
Peace.
Bye.